fan I'm pulling for. Want to see him get it together, whatever that looks like.
Amazing. They draft well, they develop well, and they have a style.
8 for 8.
Look at it. Kuminga. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say 9 for 9.
He has risen to the occasion. Here's Atlanta's rebound in the Warriors right there.
Kuminga from Curry.
Did you see how hyped Steph was? The franchise record without a miss. Kuminga's got it. Working on Jalen Johnson. He's 11 of 11.
There's a chance to tie it right here. Curry behind the back. Curry leaves it up top.
Kuminga breaks out, goes up and throws it down.
In the last couple of weeks, there has been a lot of news and speculation surrounding the Golden State Warriors on who's the next big star that they're going to trade for. But see, it seems like they don't need to look any further because the superstar that they're looking for has always been right under their noses all along. If you've been following the Warriors games recently, you've probably noticed that Jonathan Kuminga has been fully unleashed and is currently playing at an all-star level. In the last 5 games, JK has been playing like MJ, averaging 25.2 points, 7 rebounds, 1.8 assists on 63.7% shooting from the field, and 40% from downtown on 32.2 minutes of play. Kuminga's name has been thrown around like a hot pancake in the trade rumor mill, but with his recent explosion, he just made himself untouchable along with Mr. Number 30. And if the Warriors all of a sudden decide to trade JK for some reason, then it would take an all-star and a slew of draft picks just to get him, because his stock and value have skyrocketed to crazy levels with the way he's been playing as of late. To simplify what I'm saying in 4 words, Jonathan Kuminga has arrived. And after 3 years of patiently waiting, it seems that the Warriors' biggest investment is now starting to pay off big time. Anyway, with his jaw-dropping performances in the last couple of games, there's no doubt that JK has become the Dubs' second-best player right next to Steph Curry. In a season where Wiggins and Clay are playing like they're already washed, Kuminga's recent rise is one of the positives that the Warriors can hold on to and possibly build upon after the trade deadline. Well, speaking of Clay, he recently talked about JK's leap to the next level and also highlighted the stuff that JK brings to the table for the Dubs on a nightly basis.
Was tonight's game from him 11-11 from the floor, not a single 3, most of his shots coming in the paint, just kind of the prototypical game that you guys want for him that's most effective for you guys?
Oh, no question. I mean, I don't mind JK shooting threes at all. He's a good shooter, especially when he's open. He's got time. He knocks them down. But he's so athletic. I think he has a 40-inch vertical. I mean, when he gets to the paint, he's so hard to stop, and he gives our team a whole new dimension when he is attacking the rim and playing above the rim. And he showed everything tonight, and like I said before, sky's the limit for Jonathan.
That interview happened right after their matchup against the Hawks, the very same game where Kuminga dropped 25 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. But the most impressive thing about this game was that Kuminga never missed a single shot in 29 minutes of play, hitting 11 of 11 from the field. In that game, Kuminga showed his much improved offensive arsenal, such as his low-post scoring, his face-up and mid-range game, but to me, the thing that truly defines his maturity in year 3 is his patience as well as his composure. Look at the play right here. Kuminga attacks the lane, which is something that we usually see from him. But see, here's something different. After a couple of bumps, JK steps back as if he's going to take a jumper, then fakes his defender followed by an up and under to lay it in. I mean, in the previous seasons, JK would just simply power his way through or jump right through his defender using his athleticism. But now, JK has got some finesse and craftiness in his game, and this is quite scary since he can now easily switch gears whenever he wants to. Well, aside from the major leap in his offensive game, JK also showed in the last 5 games that he has the potential to become the Dubs' go-to guy in the future along with Steph Curry. The Dubs' main problem this season is that they don't have another guy who can create offense in one-on-one situations outside of Steph and a guy who can deliver buckets coming from different looks. In their recent games though, Kuminga not only showed that he can be that guy, but he also showed that he's more than ready to be that guy. In their matchup against Sacramento, Kuminga delivered his best offensive performance thus far in his career when he dropped 31 points on 12 for 19 shooting, and I believe this was the game that really set JK off, which also made the Warriors realize that JK is truly a superstar in the making. I mean, when everyone was basically struggling besides Steph, Kuminga stepped up to the plate in the fourth and scored crucial buckets to keep them within shooting distance.
What a swing there. The three at the end of the quarter, the lob to start the fourth. Kuminga. Draymond Green finds Kuminga. Kuminga, bouncy, and it goes. Blocked by Murray. Kuminga post up. Kuminga with the throwdown.
Kuminga had 14 points in the fourth quarter, and although they lost that game by a hairline, it was JK's coming out party, so to speak, to let everyone know that he's ready to take the big leap. And speaking of the big leap, JK is actually on the right side of history, because a lot of NBA greats as well as rising stars went off during their third year in the league. I mean, it was in year 3 when Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant first led the league in scoring. It was in year 3 Kobe Bryant became a full-time starter for the Lakers. It was in year 3 that LeBron James made his playoff debut, and it was in year 3 that Kawhi Leonard tallied his first double-digit scoring average while winning his first NBA championship. Now, before you guys sound off, no, I am not comparing JK to those guys. Now, as far as the other young stars are concerned, Luka, Tatum, Şengün, and Anthony Edwards all exploded in year 3, and based on JK's performance as of late, he'll probably end up just like the players I mentioned, which is great news, especially if you're a die-hard Dubs fan. Anyway, with Kuminga's breakout season happening in front of our eyes, trading him would be the dumbest thing that the Warriors could do at this point, and if somehow they move him, it would take at least one legit superstar and a bunch of draft picks in order to get the trade through, cause anything less than that isn't gonna cut it for someone that has limitless potential like JK. The Warriors had a slew of athletic two-wings over the years like Andre Iguodala and more recently Andrew Wiggins, but JK has a higher ceiling than those two, and from the way I see things, there's a real possibility that JK will be the next star of the franchise after Steph hangs his sneakers up for good. I mean, once he calls it quits, who do you guys think Steph will pass the torch to? Despite being one half of the Splash Brothers and considered to be one of the most lethal snipers in this generation, I think Klay is not good enough to become the #1 guy for the Warriors, or for any team for that matter, given where he's at in this stage of his career. Wiggins once tried to be the top guy in Minnesota, but it turns out he wasn't able to live up to the hype and expectations, as he only thrives best in a support role. Draymond is a vocal leader and does have a great basketball mind, but his wild and erratic behavior has gotten him into some serious trouble, and this is definitely a big no-no if you're looking for someone to serve as the star of your team. Now, as for the other young guns, TJD, Pods, and Moody are all great athletes with great talents, but they don't have the tools and skill set like Kuminga, who is a complete package that's got the word superstar written all over him since day one. Anyway, the eye test and stats don't lie. The Warriors are on to something big with Jonathan Kuminga. Regardless if they make the playoffs, let alone the play-in tournament, all they need to do now is feed JK his minutes and just set him loose for the rest of the season, cause even though at times this season may seem like a lost cause for the Dubs, the unleashing of Jonathan Kuminga might just be the silver lining in all of this. And if you're a Dubs fan, this should get your hopes up because the future certainly looks bright if you have someone like Kuminga waiting next in line.